Washington will meet Long Island this Monday when, for the first time, a wine made in New York will be served at the Presidential Inauguration. Joining me now for this week's On the Road is Jonathan Lynne, Executive Vice President with Bedell Cellars. So this is it. This is the actual vintage
Indeed.
that will be served. And you've sold them
Merlot.
8 cases, 96 bottles. Did you sell it to them or give it to them?
I think it was a donation, but I'm not entirely sure. There may be some rules involved in that. But the bottom line is, yes, they picked up 8 cases for the luncheon on Monday.
Yes. Now, I remember the wonderful wine movie Sideways.
Yes.
They pretty much trashed Merlot as a boring, terrible wine. And here's a Merlot for an inauguration. Did the White House get it wrong?
No, they absolutely got it right. And certainly that movie was making an amusing joke, and it is what it is. As the person that runs our sales and marketing for Bedell, I spend a lot of time fighting against that perception. But certainly East and West Coast Merlot are fairly different. This is an absolutely glorious wine from a great vintage and a very bright, vibrant, fruity Merlot.
Right. Now, how tacky and blunt are you allowed to be in using this to market your brand and say, hey, if it's good enough for President Obama, it's good enough for you?
Well, I think it's an extraordinary honor and a great recognition for New York food and wine. And in fact, we owe a great debt of gratitude to Senator Schumer and the host committee for the inaugural, who really went to great lengths to feature New York food and wine. And over the course of an extensive tasting process of I think hundreds of New York state wines, they selected our Merlot for the first course. We're very excited.
Was this decision made after Sandy? Is this kind of a Sandy sympathy thing?
I don't believe it is, but certainly, I could see how those two things could tie together, and certainly the region was reasonably impacted, although we were certainly very fortunate and didn't lose fruit, didn't lose business.
Okay, what specifically, marketing-wise, are you going to do to leverage off this? Are you going to run any advertising mentioning this?
We don't do a lot of paid advertising, but certainly we're getting an enormous amount of publicity from this. We're doing a viewing party actually at our winery in Cutchogue, Long Island on Monday during the inaugural, when people will have an opportunity to have some sort of Americana canapes alongside this wine and some of our other offerings, and watch the inaugural speech and some of the other proceedings.
All right, good Merlot and Americana canapes.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a great combination. Thanks for being with us, Jonathan Lynne of Bedell.
Thanks so much for having me.
Have a good day, sir.
You too.